One of the things I loved and miss about Modern Warfare 2019 was those update days, where you'd basically wake up and it'd be like Christmas morning where you'd check your favorite gun and see, did they introduce any new barrels or attachments for the gun? The Model 680, if you remember, was my favorite shotgun, and it got that 6-round magazine and Dragon's Breath, and then the R90 got Dragon's Breath, and those were sort of stealth added in. I don't think they really mentioned that. Well, in Season 4 Reloaded, while it's not a stealth edition, they did add something that a lot of people are overlooking, and that is the Corvus Torch underbarrel shotgun attachment. It's basically just like the Masterkey, except guess what? It's got incendiary rounds on it, and oh boy, it is so much fun to use. So today, I'm going to be talking about the Corvus Torch and why you should definitely be trying this out, and why it's actually better than the Masterkey attachment. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So just as a note, these values I'm going to show you are all hand tested in Plunder, so just keep that in mind. Sim.gg does not have this on their site yet, but this is as close as I could get, so just bear in mind these are all hand tested. But from about 0 to 3 meters on the dot, this gun deals about 210 to 230 damage, and it's not a gun, it's an attachment, my bad. Basically, this is dealing as much as a heavy-hitting shotgun does, like the Bryson 800, or something like the Lockwood 300 with Dragon's Breath. So that is a lot of damage, and if you notice, that can two-shot kill with this gun. Now, if you remember the Masterkey attachment, that basically went about 0 to 2.5 meters, that was your two-shot range, and that was it. And that was pretty good, but with this thing, from about 3 to 5.8 meters, since you're dealing enough damage to two-shot, your two-shot with this thing, the Corvus Torch, is essentially from 0 to close to 6 meters if you tune it for damage especially. So that's your two-shot range with this thing. And with the rate of fire this thing has, your time to kill is effectively going to be about 451 milliseconds, which is no joke. That's actually pretty damn good. And while it may not compete with some of the other real shotguns that shoot really fast, or the X13, or the Basilisk, of course, this thing can hold its own. Do not be fooled. Just because it's some kind of gimmicky niche attachment that it doesn't have a use or purpose, this most certainly does. And this thing can absolutely fry people. I don't think I've ever been killed by it a single time. Nobody uses it, and I gotta say, it's so much fun to use. Now, of course, from 5.8 to about 10 meters, you're dealing about 130 points of damage. I couldn't get any more or less than that. It was always about 130. So that means at that range, up to 10 meters, it's gonna be about a 3-shot kill. And then past that, it's gonna take 4 at least, which this thing only has 4 in its tube. So you really wanna be up close and personal with this thing. So basically, the Masterkey didn't have as much range as this thing did. The two-shot wasn't as good, and it didn't deal as much damage. The Corvus Torch does more damage, has a better two-shot range, and it has basically the same time to kill that's really fast up close. This thing is basically the Masterkey, but better in every way. There really is no reason to use the Masterkey over the Corvus Torch. It's just better in every way. And honestly, one of the best things about it is, if you may have seen from the gameplay, for some reason, it adds a ragdoll effect to people you kill, which is just icing on the cake. It's so much fun to shoot someone with a flaming shotgun and their body just kind of flies in every which direction and it just kind of ragdolls around. That's always so good. It's not as great as gibbing. I still think that would be pretty fun to have in this game with a shotgun, but having ragdoll effects is pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of what guns you can use this on, you can pretty much use it on most of the ARs. Some of them don't have it, like the STB doesn't, I believe. The cast-offs do, I believe, except for maybe the 74U, but this thing is on a lot of different guns. So just check out your favorite gun, your AR, and see if it has it, or maybe even one of the LMGs. I think mostly just ARs have it, but one of the other fun things about this thing is you can actually equip it on the KV broadside. So this is a total yo dog meme moment where you can basically have a Dragon's Breath shotgun on your Dragon's Breath shotgun. So if you want to be, I guess, what people might consider toxic or double toxic, then just use the Corvus Torch with Dragon's Breath on the KV broadside and have a blast, because it's actually, like I said, pretty damn good and actually pretty useful. Now, if you want to know the build I was using for fun with this thing, I use it in some of my gameplays and actually had a good time with it, is basically a cast-off 7.62 build, which is basically focused on being very mobile, and I even have the 20-round mag on it, which is daring. I must say, it is daring to have something that little, but it actually felt really nice and snappy, and I actually made it work pretty well. Maybe you guys can too. I'm sure you will. A lot of you guys are probably better than me out there. So try this build out and let me know how it fares for you. But also make sure to try it out on the KV broadside, because I mean, come on, that's just hilarious. Running a Dragon's Breath shotgun on a Dragon's Breath shotgun. It's just perfect, you know? Now, before I let you go, there is one secret thing I do want to mention about this. Of course, you know, if you've seen my last Masterkey video, this thing basically resets your speed. So if you have a really slow AR, you can switch to your underbarrel shotgun, and you'll basically have a normal movement speed. It'll be a lot quicker, so it's practical in that sense. But also, one of the fun things you can do with this, which I didn't know about last time I made a video on the Masterkey, but basically, if you have your gun with the underbarrel shotgun equipped and it's ready to go in shotgun shotgun mode, if you double tap Y or whatever you use to switch weapons, if you double tap it, you'll switch to your other gun, but when you switch back to the gun with the underbarrel shotgun on it, it'll still be in shotgun mode. If you press Y once or your switch weapons key once, it'll switch back to your normal firing mode, your fully automatic or semi-auto or whatever. So if you have shotgun mode out, double tap Y, you can switch to your other gun and then switch back to the shotgun, and it's bam, it's ready to go. So it's actually really practical and useful, and once I figured this out, I found myself doing this quite a bit because it was kind of a pain to have to switch back to this and then equip the shotgun. So when you can just sort of switch to the shotgun really fast, it's super nice. So I'm telling you guys, don't overlook this attachment. It is really useful, and I don't think it's banned in ranked. If you want to give it a try in ranked, it's probably going to do some damage, so I don't know, give it a shot. But that's just about going to do it for this video, guys. So let me know down below in the comments, what do you think about this attachment? Have you used the Masterkey attachment before? If you use the Corvus Torque, do you think it's better like I do? And with all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.
All Ultra, no unsanctioned soup activity detected at this time.
Marked remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Your squad mates back on station. Good work. Marked remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Enemy destroyed. Use your attack map to hunt down the rest.